What is happening, people? What's going on with my mic? I don't know what that is. I feel like it's been such a long time since we did a show, since we did a politics, since we did anything. And therefore, the computer felt the same way. So sorry I'm late, but let's jump right into it if I can. Um, Hello, Top Fan Angel. Thanks for joining me as always. Um, let's get right into it. I got videos loading in the background, so as soon as they finish, we can play those. But today I want to talk about what's going on down in the border, the southern border of the United States, the Texas border. Um, there are thousands of migrants, thousands of migrants who have been there for the last week, I want to say, roughly. Um, I said most of them are from Haiti. After they had a devastating earthquake, it was a crazy earthquake. I want to say maybe a couple weeks ago, 2 maybe 3 weeks ago. Anybody that know anything about Haiti? It's a very poor country. It's a country where it's always a lot of fighting, like infighting going on. Uh, they seem to have a bunch of natural disasters on that part of the island. So they deal with a lot of earthquakes, a lot of flooding, a lot of times. And I'm sorry, hold on one second. And yeah, so most recently, not only are they dealing with a crazy earthquake that they just had a few weeks ago, they're also dealing with the assassination of their president and just a country that's in complete unrest right now. So many people are trying to escape to find a better life or just get help, And I am completely understanding of that. And I think I got the video loaded. So let's see what this will play.
Outrage, especially from lawmakers in D.C., prompting the Department of Homeland Security to respond overnight, saying the abuse of migrants will not be tolerated and is taking the allegations seriously.
The chaos at the Texas border. Video emerging of Border Patrol agents on horseback attempting to push back migrants as they cross the Rio Grande into the U.S. An agent grabbing a man by the back of his shirt. This video showing the fear and panic as Border Patrol works to control this section of the border.
Hey, no. I don't have the full context. I can't imagine what context would make that appropriate.
The Border Patrol chief defending the use of horses.
We do not know who are the smugglers or who are the migrants. So it's important that those Border Patrol agents maintain a level of security.
Homeland Security called the video extremely troubling, saying the full investigation, which will be conducted swiftly, will define the appropriate disciplinary actions. We spoke with the mayor of Del Rio, Texas, about those chaotic images.
We don't know the situation that came out that caused that contrast to happen, but I can tell you what I've seen is it's been a humanitarian effort of proportions that I've never seen in my life.
At least 10,000 men, women, and children are still under the Del Rio International Bridge, many fleeing Haiti, a country that has been devastated by a massive earthquake and political upheaval that has shocked the Caribbean nation.
If you come to the United States illegally, you will be returned. Your journey will not succeed, and you will be endangering your life and your family's lives.
The DHS secretary visiting Del Rio defending the deportations under the Trump-era Title 42. It allows for the quick expulsion of migrants due to COVID concerns.
So I'm listening to it on two different things. Sorry. So that's the basis of it. You got a bunch of migrants that's trying to cross the southern border through through Mexico, essentially. Trying to cross like the Rio Grande to come into the country. Now you've seen the videos of deportation or I'm sorry, Border Patrol agents, trying to corral people on the border, trying to keep people from crossing. Some people, not some people, I'm sorry, thousands of people as of now. It's been, like I said, it's been about a week. Thousands of people as of now have been deported back to their country. Where most people are from Haiti, but not everybody. But they're all living under like a bridge down in Texas, where if you know anything about people, you gotta have a place to go to the bathroom, and when everybody's grouped up, that's difficult. You gotta have a place for fresh water, fresh food, food of any kind, some kind of sustenance. So what do you think about what's going on down there? Just off of that, I mean that's the basis of it. But I'm just interested in people's thoughts always on people crossing the border illegally, whether from a poor country or a country that's been ravaged by natural disasters or politically. We just had something similar, even though it wasn't like crossing the border by land, but taking in immigrants and migrants from Afghanistan. The whole situation that America just had with Afghanistan. I think here in Ohio we took like 890 something for it, like in the state of Ohio from Afghanistan. And now you see that these people at the southern border are not, able to cross, even though they may or may not have got their the due process in Afghanistan to become legal to come over. But they definitely didn't do that at the southern border currently. I'm just interested in you guys' thoughts. Like, yeah, they're coming over illegally. They're coming in, with no paperwork or whatever. They're trying to escape their country for the most part. But they're doing it illegally. You know what I'm saying? Like they're doing it in a way where it would be difficult to keep track on people or to give people, to tax them because it comes down to money. I'm just curious at where are people's thoughts with it. Because I can say for me, and if you guys watched this show before, you might have heard me say this before that I'm super sympathetic to the situation that's going on, but like, why, like America? Why does America have to be the catch-all? I guess that's my thing is I just don't know why America has to be like we're part of a thing called the United Nations, where we're supposed to pool resources and do stuff that's good for the greater good of the world, right? So where's the other help from the other countries for this situation, for situations going to war, like all of these things where it seems like it's up to America. America has to be the guiding light, the shining light, whatever the phrase is. And I get it that we're number one, apparently in some people's books, and we should be setting an example for other countries. Like Angel said, that the land of opportunity. But like, why does this not seem to? I guess the bigger question for me is, why does this seem to not happen to any other country? Maybe we don't hear about it because we're not in those countries. But it always seemed like just a hot button issue. Like we don't hear about, the southern Mexico border, people crossing to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm assuming, I don't know, forgive me if I'm being ignorant, would be a step up from Haiti, right? It would be a step up. Like maybe, America would be a bigger step, I'm assuming. That's why people come here, but I just don't know. Angel said, how can we help them? I have no idea. Pass legislature. get better people in Congress, people that want to help and take in more immigrants and fast track citizenship, stuff like that. That's pretty much it. Because as of right now, they've been deported back to whatever country they came from. Andrew said, "Let them work." So many people don't want to. Yeah, I'm not against people working. I'm not against people coming to the country, for a better life. Any of that stuff. I don't want to get that twisted. I see you said, "Why not us?" It just seemed like we're a catch-all for everything. And this is not just limited to immigration. This is, like I said, military. Like people call on the United States to help or to step up, um, uh, to help all these other countries when they're having civil wars and beef with other countries. When stuff happen in Haiti, in all these other places, like America is typically one of the most giving nations when it comes to supporting other countries and stuff, giving resources to other countries. Angela, like I said about the immigrants that came over from Afghanistan, plenty of people, you might not have heard about it, but there were plenty of stories about how people in Ohio came together specifically to get whether it was food and water and all this stuff ready. Like the immigrants haven't, all 800 haven't even got here yet, but they've pulled resources so it can be on standby for the time that people get here, and then then it'll be up to the government to figure out housing, etc. But America, I'm not saying it's number one or they can't do better, but it seems just be on the hook for a lot of stuff when we're supposed to be part of a bigger collective. Yet it always seems like to come. I did a show a couple of weeks ago in regards to the 20-year anniversary of September 11th. And I get it, that was our tragedy, like that happened on American soil, but we're part of a group, we're part of a collective who is supposed to ride with us, right? So when you look at the numbers, the disparity of the numbers between like American casualties, American contractors, and then look at the rest of the nations that we're supposed to be in conjunction with. Like you can't even compare the numbers. Like it's double in every aspect. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying specifically on this issue, and of course, it's stuff that can be done better. I actually, personally, I like this. I like the fact that they are picking these people up, putting them on planes, and sending them back to whatever country that they came from, rather than with the Trump, during the Trump situation, where they were just holding them on the border. So you can't come in, but you also can't go home. You're just held there. I like this better. This is what Obama did when he had his border crisis issue. He deported people, sent people back. So I'll take that over just straight detaining people. Angela said it's supposed to be the land of opportunity, labor shortage in the States. Come on in. You're not wrong. Is this the only land of opportunity though? Like we're not number one in nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not number one in anything. So you can make a better living going somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But general labor, yeah, I don't have a problem with people coming in making money and doing jobs that most people don't want to do. I completely agree with you. I just don't. I guess you just got to do it the right way. Like we couldn't, as Americans, Angel, I mean, you talked about this before. We couldn't just go to Canada or go to, I don't know, the German embassy and say we're citizens now. We can't just walk in and become citizens, or we can't catch a flight there and then just stay and say that we're citizens now. It's a process that has to be done. So I just don't, the flack that America gets because we get a surge of people that's just rushing the border. Like, what else were we supposed to do? Like you just let them in, like without any documentation. Like everybody, Angel, you pay taxes. I pay taxes. Like should they just be free to do whatever and not pay taxes, or to come in and make a living and then be able to go through the process? Like I'm just like how does it work? Like what else can we do besides uh deport and of course come up with a better system or a way to fast track or streamline or something, but do it, I guess, legally, like not just rushing the border. Like I don't know what else we can do. If somebody just rushed into your house, like, you wouldn't be welcoming. You're like, wait a minute, like who are you? Why are you here? You got to ask questions. Even if somebody was in crisis, if it was a woman running down the street or something that needed help, if she ran to your door, you wouldn't just let her in. You would say, hey, what's going on? What's your stress? Like what's going on? Like you would ask some kind of question. You would get some type of information. You wouldn't just let her in because she knocked on your door or just ran in. That's all I'm saying. I know that's dumbing it down and super simplifying, but I just don't know. Like just something else has to be done is all I'm saying. Angel said, off topic, but I heard today someone saying because of the labor shortage that people should buy their turkey for Thanksgiving this year because there won't be as many in stores as normal. Oh, buy the turkeys early. Yeah, I suppose so. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Like they had a chicken wing shortage, but so I don't know if that was because of workers or if it was because of just a chicken shortage. Like I don't know, but I don't think that doesn't sound far fetched to me. That doesn't sound like a terrible idea. To do everything early to be prepared. I mean, even last year, nobody's working, but I guess COVID kept people in the house anyway. So, and look, I'm not defending America. Like I don't do it often. I'm not doing it now, saying that they're doing everything perfectly. Clearly, some of the guards down there being extraordinarily harsh. It is a humanitarian issue down there. But I just don't know. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, look, I got this other video, and this one is probably a little tougher.
No. Hey, you use your women? This is why your country, because you use your women for this. You go, that way.
All right. Hopefully you guys are able to hear it. I can't for whatever reason. But hopefully you guys are able to hear that. Now that's absurd, right? That's people taking it too far. That's people going above and beyond, what's called for you to do your job. The verbal abuse and stuff like that. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? The optics of it is not cool. You have a bunch of white guys on horseback waving around whips, keeping darker skinned people from, trying to corral or control darker skinned people. Like the optics aren't good. They even talked about that in the first video that I paid. So I'm not saying that everything that they're doing is right or perfect or anything. Since then, those people in the video have been they're not suspended, but they're working only in administrative stuff, so they have no contact with any other immigrants, which of course is good. But besides the verbal abuse, like the fact that it looks bad, like what are people supposed to do? And I'm asking you guys, Angel, I'm asking you. I'm asking whoever else is in here or watches this later, what are we supposed to do? Like, if that's your job, if your job is to do security for whatever, protecting the border, protecting a building, protecting a whatever, and you get people that's rushing into your building, like, what do you do? Like, how do you keep people from going into your building? If that's your job is to keep people out of the building. Like, what do you do? I don't know. I don't have a solution either. Angel said I don't have a solution, and I'm asking kind of rhetorically because I don't think it's like an easy answer or whatever. But I know that I believe that we can't just let people do whatever they want to. Like, it has to be done with some level of order, um, just to make it fair for everybody. Like, it has to be done with some level of order. You can't just let people cross. I don't believe. Now I know it's a bunch of smarter people than me and people who study the situation hand over fist who say when the southern border was um, more open, like less restrictive, people would pass all the time. People would come up, um, you know, work and make money and go back down and bring the money to their family to the point where they didn't have to move their family up here. They could just work here and then take the money back, But then there's all type of other questions about taxes and and resources being taken out of the country. It's just so many different things. And just said, I feel like you need to help people who are displaced. Let them help make a better life. Let them in with requirements. I'm fine with that, and it's done so many different avenues, like the DACA program, which is we talked about the DACA program several times on the show. Like I'm completely down with that. Like, but you have to have some sort of way of until you fulfill like your obligation. You got to have some sort of way of keeping track or tabs on people. So if you do come to the point where you don't fulfill that obligation, you were supposed to, like if you start a job and they say you got 60 days to do all this work and pass the certification or whatever, and you don't do it, then you grounds for termination. So you should be grounds for deportation. And if they can't find you just because they said come on in and just give us your name, we'll deal with it later. I don't think that's the way to go either. Like, so it has to be some kind of a system. I'm not saying that you even had to deport them, but it got to be some way of, I don't know if the border need to hire more staff where they can run a 24-hour sign up program or a 24-hour vetting program or something. And I know it takes time to run background checks and to make sure that people aren't criminals or whatever. But it just has to be done in a better way. And I'm agreeing with you that there is a better way. Do I know it? No, but it has to be a better way than just deporting people, and it has to be a better way than just letting everybody in and saying we're going to deal with it later. Like, it has to be some type of a middle ground. Just in the meantime, I just don't feel like America not taking advantage of, because we have resources and money and stuff, but for whatever reason, it just feel like we're catch all, and I'm not a fan of that. For other people wars, smaller countries that run to us for protection and stuff like that. When if you're having a civil war, I'm not saying it's cool, but that's a civil war. Like, you're getting invaded by one of our enemies or something that's just atrocious, and you need help and stuff like that. I get it. That's what the United Nations are for, but like it shouldn't be all on America. That's all I'm saying. If you want to have this stuff where we just took immigrants from Afghanistan and brought them to America and spread them out, why can't you take these people and spread them out through different countries that's in the United Nations? So it's not all on the United States where all of our resources are drained. And just in one area, when we got an entire country to process or whatever, I don't know. Andrew said we don't even take good care of our own people, right? but we should take good care of everyone. And that's what I'm saying. I guess that's where I'm ultimately leading to is we need help. Like we need there are other people, other groups that need help. There's other things that need to be taken care of here with the people that we already have, to let alone bring in more people. I don't care where they're from. I don't care if it's a group from Switzerland. I don't care if it's a group from Haiti or Afghanistan or Australia. Like I don't care. I'm talking about the people that are here and we can't even make it work here with the people we have. So we're taking on more responsibility, and it's solely based, and it's solely the responsibility falls solely on us as Americans, as people that paying taxes, as people that has to funnel the resources back to the border or back to the military or back to wherever. That's what I'm saying. Angel, you helped me out there tremendously. What I'm saying at the bottom of at the end of the day is that we can barely take care of ourselves and the people we have here now, let alone trying to bring in dozens of more people who you can't keep track of. That's all I'm saying. All right, man. So I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate you guys joining me. I appreciate anybody that watches this later. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Uh, as always, there's a story behind me that you guys should probably check out. Something I found interesting. It's a little bit dated, maybe not quite a year ago, maybe a little bit, but not like super recent. But it's very interesting. Um, I'm not even going to talk about it all. Just go do some research on the Lloyds of London and them and reparations for the slave trade. Uh, it's very interesting. All right, you guys be safe out there. Man, keep stuff in perspective and do the best you can every single day, and everything else will take care of itself. Salute to the city as always. We'll see you guys Friday, Sunday, next Wednesday. Be safe.